So my mic is not really the best, so it's not really the best mic. So hopefully you guys can hear me on this microphone. So my apologies. So today we're gonna be talking about my review and my experience with Ghost of Yotei. I finished it about 3 days ago, and right now I'm currently playing Astrobot. So if you guys haven't checked that out, make sure you check out the little icon on the left side of your screen, I believe, if I'm pointing correctly. We're not going to get into more in-depth details. There's some other people that does that. I'm just going to talk about my experience about the game so far. Let me know in the comment section down below if you guys did play Ghost of Yotei. I want to hear you guys' experience about the game so far. And let's dive into the review. So, for me, I thought Ghost of Yotei was pretty good. Now, I'm not gonna go like on this rant talk about how fantastic the game is and like you know, ranting about you trolls and haters. No, I'm really not. I'm just gonna give you my honest experience about the game. I thought the game lived up to its expectations that it should. I know there's gonna be some people in the comments and some people that I got in the comments on my live streams talking foolishness that they don't even know what they're talking about. And like I mentioned in most of my videos, I try to keep politics minimum. But at the same time, if there's a game where you guys connect politics, I will give my honest opinion how I feel about those people. Okay. So yeah, there was controversies around other things. We're not gonna mention it because that's been over with since months ago. Whatever. It's like what, October, close to November, whatever. We're not gonna be talking about that whole controversy thing. Their person has been fired, let go, and move on to the sunset. Anyways, the game got released and the boycott that everybody was talking about never lived up to the expectation. Everybody bought the game. It was the number one sales on PlayStation 5, and everybody enjoyed it. The people that I follow and the people that they follow, everybody was posting Ghost of Yotei content, including myself. I gave it a 9 out of 10. I really enjoyed the game. A lot of you guys who came by my live stream has asked me, do I enjoy Jean or Asuka? Of course, the first game will always be in my heart. That is my honest opinion. I really did enjoy the first game. I'll always have the first game in my heart. I really enjoy his story. I enjoy his adventure. I loved everything, especially the opening sequence. Oscar opening sequence was great too, but nothing compared to that opening sequence to the first game. That opening sequence to everything has been top tier. Her adventure too has been cinema, has been really great. I will be going back into it. I just wanted to finish the whole story. I didn't play it on lethal or anything like that. I will go back into the game in the near future when it's the new game plus. I'll definitely will be testing it out and see how that game is with with all the additional stuff and all that stuff. So I will be going back there in the future, playing the game in black and white, all the good stuff and nitty gritty that they had added into the game. I thought the game, like I said, lived up its expectation. I thought the campaign was good. I thought the campaign was okay. I thought the story was okay. It wasn't like the best, like, oh my God, this is the best story that I ever played. um, but for me personally, I give the story about an 8.5. It was kind of predictable. It was kind of understandable. And at the same time, with her story, you kind of understand her frustration. You can understand why she had to do the things that she had to do to kind of like have closure for herself personally. If you guys not have not played the game, I don't want to spoil too much, but there was a person in her life kind of moved on of that story too. So there was some frustration that I had between the two. I was like, dude, like you gotta understand like her pain, her frustration, all this stuff, and like without her, y'all won't have point A, point B to get rid of these people because you had to get rid of these group of people to kind of like, you know, downgrade the situation, which is the big problem. So at the same time, you kind of understand her story. You kind of understand her pain. You kind of understand why she had to do the things that she had to do. The same thing with Gene. Like you understand why he had to do it. His homeland is being attacked by invaders, basically. People that invaded his homeland and killing and pillaging innocent people that don't even bother them. So you understand the frustration. You understand the anger. And that's the good thing about Sucker Punch when it came to these two protagonists that we had so far. You understand their cinema and their story to the game. So I really did enjoy that. Yes, it was kind of predictable. There was an article, I think it was by IGN, that was kind of complaining that PlayStation makes the same game. I'm like, well, PlayStation won Game of the Year, and the current game that I'm playing is Astrobot. That was a complete different story. He was getting invaded by his home space. You know, they were enjoying themselves in the galaxy and the universe, and here comes these little minion attacking his home, his PlayStation. You know, so I don't know. Yeah. Everybody has their honest opinion about a lot of things in games nowadays. But I really enjoy Ghosts of Yotei. The thing that I really enjoy about Ghosts of Yotei is the yellow bird. If you guys do know the yellow bird, he's been just been flying around and he notifies you like, hey, there's a hot spring here. Hey, there's a bamboo stick here. Hey, there's something here too that you need to check out. So that was the good thing about Ghosts of Yotei. Like, yes, you had the story and all that stuff, but there was other open worldness in the game that you could really enjoy. The bamboo stick with the lightning strike, and you try to figure out what's wrong with the lightning. And the lightning's letting you know, like, can you throw this into the open scenery so I can just hit the lightning? And I finally figured that out like 3 days ago. So that was the good thing about Ghost of Yotei. Like, there was like little details in the game that they really put in that's really that was kinda good on their part and that I really enjoy. Now, there were some key things in the game that a lot of people were complaining about, and I never thought to really notice this because I play Ghost of Yotei on my base PlayStation 5. I do not have a PS5 Pro. I is a type of person who don't really waste money on consoles. I always thought like, whatever, so long I got a console and my PC and so long I'm able to play games after work, I don't really care about the graphics, the quality of the game. There was some weird conversation that was happening on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it nowadays. I still call it Twitter. There was a real conversation of people complaining about the water physics compared to Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, I was really surprised that a lot of people were defending Assassin's Creed Shadow after they had their little controversy about, oh, they don't like this protagonist because, of course, the Black Samurai. And they were defending Assassin's Creed Shadow because of their water physics. And I was really surprised to see that part of the community kind of like defending them because I was like, wow, that's kind of interesting. Like 8 months ago, you were like literally complaining about how the story was in that game. And now you're saying like they had better water physics too. Ghost of Yotei, and I just said to myself, maybe they didn't really want to focus on those little stupid details. Maybe they want to focus on something else. What I thought that was better, I thought the combat system of Ghost of Yotei was pretty good. Now, you guys told me that the bounty armor is a lot better armor for parries. I will test that out when I get off this and this edit this video and stuff like that. And so I will test that armor out to see how the parry system is on there with that particular armor, and I thought the combat system was pretty great. And the combat system, you can do anything with it. You can do this type of technique, take down these type of enemies. I thought the combat system was really great compared to Assassin's Creed Shadow. Now, of course, the combat system in Assassin's Creed Shadow is basically being an assassin, it's being stealthy. So that's understandable compared to Ghost of Yotei. So that was something that I was paying attention to compare to see how her combat system was a lot better compared to Ghost of Tsushima. I thought her combat system was a lot better because there was like really different techniques that you can do in that combat system, you know. Like one of my fellow content creators would say pocket sand. So I thought that was pretty good too. That was the only thing that was kind of paying attention into the game. I wasn't really paying attention really about the water physics because I said to myself, well, she's not really gonna be focusing into the water. And of course, the water fences in Assassin's Creed is gonna be different because you could be raiding ships that's out in the open sea and out in the open area. So I said to myself, why are we paying attention to this? And then they brought up another thing that was kind of coordinated to another game that came out in 2018. They were comparing the horse animations to Red Dead Redemption 2 to compare it to the horse animations in Ghost of Yotei. That I never really paid attention to either. There's like minor things that I pay attention to in Ghost of Yotei. The most important thing is having a good story. I thought the music and the sound was pretty amazing in game, because I like it felt cinematic. It felt like you was in a Japanese movie. If you guys ever watch Japanese movies, it felt like you were in Kill Bill. That was the thing that I was getting on my part, the sound quality and everything like that. I thought the graphics was good on my end. I didn't really care about the horse animation. I didn't really care about like the wind blowing in their horse's hair. I didn't really pay attention to that kind of details. It's gonna let me know in 2026 when GTA 6 drops of the amount of details that people are gonna be paying attention to into this game because of course this game got delayed until 2026. And you can tell the internet is gonna be so much into that game and dissecting it to a point like they're doing surgery or something to pay attention to every little detail. I live in South Florida, so of course I'm gonna be paying attention to the little details of that game too, but maybe not way too much. But if I see something that kind of coordinates to Florida, then I understand. Um, it blows my mind how people are like, yeah, we're gonna be focusing on this and we're gonna be detailing this and the horse animation is not like Red Dead Redemption 2. I was like, yeah, because that's a different studio. That studio had money. Okay. That had a budget for that. Okay. I don't know what was the budget for Sucker Punch. Okay. I don't know. The budget got blown out for Corridor that was a failed game on PlayStation. That $400 million, they could have gave it a Sucker Punch to give me a remastered Sly Cooper or Infamous Second Son. I mean, there was so much money that they can give, but and then they got finessed by Bungie. Okay. So I just it blows my mind of how people was kind of dissecting that part. But for me, I was dissecting the music. Of course, the voice acting is always important. The story, the graphics, and how I felt about the combat system. That was like the minor details I was kind of paying attention to. Of course, the NPC's voice acting is not the best. I mean, it always felt like it's kind of like generic, so that's understandable. But I thought the voice acting on the English side was pretty good. Of course, when the new Game Plus drops, hopefully pretty soon, hopefully around Christmas, um, I will be playing the Japanese, voice acting to see how their voice acting is, and of course, theirs is gonna be way much superior than the English version, so that's understandable. But I thought everything else in the game, I thought it was pretty good. I thought the open worldness, the scenery of the game, like different areas that you went through the map had different sceneries, and I'm like, wow, this scenery is much better. Like the Matsumai clan area was, Japanese cherry blossom. It felt very different, upper class. And then you had the Uni on his other side, you know. He had a burning forest and stuff, and he just burning stuff. And then you had the snake, run down shack, always drinking and stuff. And who else? But yeah, and you had the Kessin that I I might be jacking up the name. You had his lower area in the snow mountains and stuff like that, and it was like different sceneries. And that I thought that was my focus on the game. And the good thing about I kind of noticed about Ghost of Yotei that I kind of noticed too is like when you throw the weapon on a tree, it stays in the tree. Or if you hit an arrow, the arrow's still in the tree compared to Ghost of Tsushima. Somebody else brought that up too, where they did kind of like updated their quality of their game over the past year compared to Ghost of Tsushima. You hit the arrow disappears. When you set fires to areas that you're in, it turns black. So that was like the little minor details that I saw compared to the first game that they really advanced themselves in Ghost of Yotei. The snow, you're trenching through the snow a little bit more slower. You feel like, damn, I'm deep in the snow, I'm not moving fast enough. Frozen, you're getting frozen in like certain areas of the snowy mountain area. Like you can tell like you're getting cold. You gotta take a break, set up fire to kind of cool your body down. So there was a lot of minor things that they kind of made a lot of key advancements in Ghost of Yotei compared to Ghost of Tsushima. So that was the little minor details that I kind of noticed in game. I did not really care about the horse physics and the horse hair. I did not care about none of that stuff. I don't know why people feel like that's the careness that they need to be focused on. I'm like, that is just something you don't need to be really focusing on. That stuff is just, I don't know. I thought that stuff was kind of stupid on my part. I thought like this is the conversation that we're having. Have you noticed point A and point B and Z and Y and don't you notice like different things? Like there was a lot of things on social media that I just thought that, people should not be having this blown conversation about horse animation compared to Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm like, Red Dead Redemption 2 had a different budget. Okay. Their budget is different. That is Rockstar. And you're comparing to Sucker Punch. Yes, they're under the umbrella of Sony, where they could have give them that $400 million and give it to one of their studios to kind of like update their studios or something like that and update their whatever, physicality, their physics. I don't know. I don't know what PlayStation could have done with that money that they give Bungie, where the game is collapsing and nobody has not played that game, and I have not played that game. That game is just whatever. That's a different video to really talk about. I'm just talking about my honest opinion and my reviewness of Ghost of Yotei. And I thought Ghost of Yotei was really great. At the end of the day, I give it 9 out of 10. Some people give it an 8.5. I give it 9 out of 10. I really enjoy every little ounce about it. I have to go back in there and kind of like finish this fight because it's pissing me off. He's different. Let's just put in that sense. And can you imagine him on lethal? I didn't play this game on lethal. I played this game on medium because I want to get through the story. And I say, let me see how he is on easy. And even on easy, he's paying the ass. Trust me, he's a thorn in my side, and I'm gonna go back in there and I'm gonna finish this fight. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys think about Ghost of Yotei. Leave all your reviews and honest opinions about it. I really enjoyed it. I liked it, and that's that. Let me know what you guys think, and I will catch you guys in my next video.